Hello, welcome everybody to another React video. Enjoy. Today we're watching the male loneliness epidemic.
I regret to inform you the men are not okay. That's right.
That is so true. So true.
Folks, the men are not okay. The men have no friends, no girlfriend, no college education, no money, are breaking their legs and inserting metal rods into their bones to be a few inches taller.
What? Wait, why? Why are they doing that? What? Or is that the joke? I missed the joke.
Listening to AI Batman help them overcome their pornography addictions.
What? AI Batman.
Deserve real love.
Turns out the society that was built by and allegedly for men has indeed let them down. Now you might be thinking, oh look, another boo-hoo poor men video by shoe0nhead. Yes. And if you have a problem with that, tune into
I've never
literally
watched
anything
her.
else.
Or this is my I've watched.
Men are in a crisis, and
I've seen people react to her, and she has good videos, is what I'm saying.
Nobody really cares, and the people who do care.
Why do I feel like she's attacking me right now? Maybe she is. She's talking about the male loneliness epidemic, and it's actually a crisis.
Just seem like the people.
It's not a joke. Men are trying to get taller. What? It's real? What?
Who want to sell them shit. Not me. I'm different. So before we get into this, let's quickly get into today's sponsor.
Oh, she has a
Today's
sponsor.
Holtzgren.
Okay, I'm just gonna skip the ad.
Down below and choose your own unique piece of nature. Thank you, Holtzgren, for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, as always, for not skipping the ad.
Why are men and boys struggling? And
Why?
What should we do about it?
A few new studies have come out that have shown that young men are more lonely and single than ever before. But it's not.
Yeah, I think it's because of the internet and the elimination of third places. Back before, we used to have like the library to go to. I mean, I'm not saying these don't exist, but like the internet has kind of changed a lot of things these days.
Not just men, the women and children too. It's predicted 45% of women will be single and childless by 2030. But according to the media, this is a good thing. The she-economy is booming as
What's the she-economy? Is this a women's economy?
they say. And meanwhile, men being single is treated like this.
New study explains why some single men are having a hard time finding a new partner.
Some of the music.
What? Why'd that woman smile? Look at her.
And meanwhile, men being single is treated like this.
Like
New
this.
study explains why some single men are having a hard time finding a new partner.
Some of the music that they listen to speaks very derogatory.
Right. Yeah, men, stop listening to that derogatory music. Then
Wait, you think it's because of the music that's making them lonely? That's weird. That's skewed. Like, what?
maybe you won't be single. I don't know, I think men and women being single and lonely kind of shows there might be something wrong with society. Perhaps
I think what's wrong again is there's no third spaces, there's no community, there's no like sense of belonging anymore. We're all isolated. We're all on the internet. The internet is fine. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just that like we're all stuck in this matrix of like being lonely. I'm lonely.
we should address this, not just wave it off as empowering or pathetic. According to several different articles, I love how that's my source. I read about it on the internet. Research
And these days the sources are not even accurate.
shows that people from individualist countries show a greater sense of loneliness. This is
Oh yeah, because we're not community, we're all lonely. We're not here together.
linked to socioeconomic development, increased education, a shift towards white-collar jobs, and urbanization. Japan also has an issue with loneliness. In fact,
That's so true. I studied a little bit about like the Japan loneliness because it's like everything's like not far apart, but like in the sense that people have outgrown each other.
have a whole movement of people they call the hikikomori.
Hikikomori. There you go.
Did I say that right?
No.
I don't care.
It's
Basically,
okay.
postmodern hermits. Mostly young men who completely withdraw from society, secluding themselves in their rooms for months and years at a time. In 2010, there was an estimated 700,000 hikikomori.
But Japan has great sushi, so it evens out. Yeah.
In Japan.
Actually, I got sick in Japan when I ate their sushi, so I don't know about that. I got sick. I had the most raw, great sushi. Raw as in like, I think it's great that it's raw, duh. But I mean, it was so freshly raw that I got sick. I was in the toilet for days.
And today, it's estimated to be about 1.55 million. And because of things like this, people aren't having babies, so Japan's population has been in a sharp decline since 2011. It's gotten so bad that Japan even produces videos of live-action women staring into the camera to help the hikikomori learn to cope with eye contact and
What? Wait, is this a real thing? Should I stare into your guys' eyes as long as possible? Okay, I'll have to do this when I get a VTuber model. I'm gonna just stare into your eyes and heal you from your hikikomori-ness.
Integrate them back into society. So basically, if you want to know
yes? Why are you guys saying yes? Oh my god. Are you gonna be judging us? No, I'm gonna teach you to stare into women's eyes and heal you. Please don't. Eye contact makes me feel threatened. What? And then don't blink. I won't blink. I will stare as long as possible so you can feel comforted.
No further than Japan. A lot of people, including myself, blame this partially on the rise of social media and technology.
Yes. The technology rise has shifted a lot of things.
R.I.P. to the king. Although technology makes things easier, it can also make us more atomized. Why go to the mall?
What does that mean? Atomized? Atomized.
When I can just tap, buy a new microphone, and have it shipped to me in a day. Why hang out with friends when I can get all my social interaction I need from Twitter and streamers? Why go on dates and bother?
That's so true. She's so true. That's so true. Like, you don't have to go out. Like, everything's at a convenience in your house.
Meeting women when I could just tap, Google big boob and get 2 million results. Or see my high school crush's holes on OnlyFans for only $5.
Oh my god. She's so right.
Instant satisfaction. And hey, who even needs a real woman when you could just have an AI girlfriend?
We're actually fucked.
Really are the great Satan, and I'm convinced they've completely broken men's brains. Women on dating apps are picky. Women in general are picky, and I mean, naturally we are pickier. You know, we're the ones who carry the babies. At least for now. But
until there's like artificial simulation of baby holding, baby like festering. What do you call it? What did she show? This thing.
Naturally, we are pickier. You know, we're the ones who carry the babies. At least.
Artificial womb breakthrough. This is gonna be insane.
For now. But on dating.
I mean, an AI girlfriend is probably cheaper unless it has a subscription. So true. Can't you just make an AI girlfriend through like Chat GPT? Like, how do you make one for free?
Apps, you have to admit, it's a little insane. It's safe to say that the commodification of love and the window shopping of dating apps probably has to do a lot with the rise.
Guys, we need to go back to our own. We need to go back to how humans used to meet each other. Just go straight up to a person, say hi, wanna be friend, be friend. We need to go back to the civilization, where civilization started. We need to start being like saying hi to strangers and just, you know, meet people the natural way. Bring back the era of pre-internet.
Of lonely single men. Men are not just lonely when it comes to dating, they're lonely when it comes to friendship too. According to Vox, Americans are currently in a friendship recession, and men are being hit the hardest.
I agree. I've like no friends. I mean, I'm sorry. This is a video on male loneliness epidemic, but I kind of like, I have a hard time making female friends, in the sense that like I don't know. I tried the apps for once. None of them said hi back. I feel like a guy trying to date a girl. It's impossible to make female friends. But I totally get it. Like even like making a normal friend these days is really hard.
Percentage of men who reported having at least 6 close friendships fell in half since the 90s. 1 in 5 men say they have no close friendships.
No close friends. That is really rough. I get more responses from AI girlfriends. I'm gonna have to start relying on that.
Looking at all these statistics, the explosion of figures like Andrew Tate is not surprising at all.
I believe being a man is a blessing because it starts so difficult. I believe that every man is born without any value at all. I think that the world's never going to think you're important unless you make
What happened to Andrew Tate? Is he gone?
yourself important.
And recently, a new study came out about how young men are moving towards the right. And every other month, we, the liberal, sockdem, leftist, whatever you want to call the space online, performs the same song and dance. What's wrong with men? Why is this happening? Why don't we have a leftist Andrew Tate? We need to push men to the left. Andrew Tate rarely, if ever, talks about politics. Andrew Tate talks about men, and the left only talks about men when they talk about Andrew Tate. A few months ago, during one of the monthly song and dances, some progressive people I follow made the mistake of addressing men's issues, and the even bigger mistake of pointing their finger at their own spaces for not doing enough to address said men's issues.
Recently, there were some statistics by healthcare company Cigna indicating that men are the loneliest generation, and addressing it doesn't mean that you turn your back on issues pertaining to women, but it does mean that we should be focused on what it is in society that is leading to this epidemic, what the left can do to offer solutions. And
I think in general, like, I don't think anyone is gonna try to fix this situation, and it's sad. Like, no one is doing anything about it, and it's just getting worse from here.
And how we can basically fight back against the more nefarious figures who have filled the void that, you know, men are struggling with, people like Jordan Peterson and what have you. Now, recently, Vosh, who's a popular streamer, had tweeted this thread that I think is really, really important to address. He writes, "I cannot stress enough how important it is to understand that 12-year-old white boys on Twitch are not being pulled into fascism because of some Machiavellian desire to preserve and expand their privileges. It's because the right talks to them and the left doesn't."
The responses to these tweets and this content were very normal, level-headed, and respectful. Me when I lie. LMAO, cry about it. Boo f***ing who? Oh no, poor widow men having problems. Boo f***ing who? Grow the f***.
Okay, that's so mean. That's absolutely terrible. The modern solution is cute girls on Twitch. The modern solution. Cute girls on Twitch.
Up then. Have men considered being smarter?
Ugh.
I'm enjoying all these
What are
sad
these
little
comments?
And their sad little tweets about their sad, pathetic lives.
This is just
Sounds
sad.
Like a personal problem.
There's just a lot of like slop on the internet too, where it's like it's hate slop, where they're like absolutely decimating like crowds of people because they're just salty.
Is the lack of compassion for men in the room with us right now? Maybe men are just not good people then.
What?
I'm so fucking tired of people trying to make male loneliness a huge societal problem. Yeah, no, their fifis are not my responsibility.
What is a fifi? Fifis? What?
And I shouldn't have to be punished because they can't get their shit together as human beings.
Whoa, 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 whoa. This is outrageous. Why would they say that? This is a Twitter thread, bro. Feelings matter. You gotta... Oh, Fifi is feeling... Their Fifis are feelings? Oh, okay. That's just sad. Oh my god. This is just not a right, like, viewpoint. Because, like, we all struggle. Like, you're not helping either sides.
Grow the up. Why are we trying to win these entitled little predators over? The left isn't for them. That's why they go right in the first place. We're all lonely and alienated. It's young men going to the alt-right in droves. The problem isn't our messaging, it's them. It's literally not our problem. Men flock to Andrew Tate.
Being a man is just lonely, but men are so used to it, and it's sad. It really is sad.
Not because they're lonely, but because they're bigots. Hope this helps.
What?
Nah, it's just misogynists being louder than before and not getting laid. LOL. Cry harder, losers.
Wait, that is a guy's profile. I just saw. Look at that. That is a guy's profile saying that. I'm pretty sure. I think. I don't know. I can't tell. It's really hard to see.
Not getting laid. LOL. Cry harder, losers. 90% of all homicides recorded worldwide were committed by male perpetrators. We should just get rid of all males, to be honest. This includes trans women, as they still retain male violence.
What?
By the way, you know the Tumblr feminists who were like, all men are sexist and rapists, male tears, penises are evil, blah 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 back in the day? Well, this is them.
That is a terrible take. What is this? This is awful.
Now, should've just let me cook back then. Listen up, chuckle. I'm white, socially awkward, autistic, in my 40s, ugly, overweight, crippled, got a weird balding pattern, and have bad skin. You know what I didn't do? Choose to become a fascist, because I recognize most of the sort that look like me are the problem. I may be hideously ugly and pathetic, but at least I'm not a fascist. Thank you for your input, buddy. You're, really helping the situation. The reason
Not
young
helping.
men flock to alt-right MRA movements is because the left gives brain-dead advice to young men. We need to be more compassionate to them, for our own sake. I'm sorry, but how is respect women brain-dead advice?
What advice?
Don't rape?
Oh
Don't
my
be a
god.
rapist is bad advice? Help, I have no friends or community, I feel suicidal. Have you considered not raping? Act like a decent
Oh my god. What? What?
human being. It's not hard. Is brain dead advice? Brain dead advice like get consent and don't be a Nazi and women.
Bro, the guys are depressed and sad and you're saying don't be a rapist? How's that? Use your brain cells to think maybe they're not talking about that. Like this is oh my god. There's people with lesser brain cells, I swear.
People walking up to men struggling with loneliness and depression like
Kids, don't be racist.
Like, I took a class on listening. I know better than this. Maybe you should listen better, bruh.
incredible. Here's my actual advice I would give to my teen boys as a leftist. 1. Always get enthusiastic consent. 2. Save.
What does consent have to do with depression and suicidal thoughts? Hello? Hello?
Planet. 3. Don't say that. It's actually kind of racist. Like, what the f is this? How does this address men and their issues? It doesn't. Why does their advice always seem to be Become a liberal. Hey men, here's how to fix all your problems. Agree with me politically. Men flock to the MRA movement because they're the largest beneficiaries of MRA shit. Imagine saying women flock to women's rights activism because they're the biggest beneficiaries of women's rights. Like, no f***ing shit.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Aside from procreation purposes, men have become obsolete. Most women can find other methods of achieving orgasm without a man there. And speaking as a man, most of us are horrid to be around, and I don't blame any woman for just saying, no thanks. Oh my god, dude, this is what every Just Pearly Things tweet looks like to me. Just with the genders swapped. This is pathetic. You know what fixes male loneliness? Jerking off.
What? Bro! Oh my god.
And I'll say this. Sit down, shut up, and beat one out. You'll feel better.
Okay, beating your mate does not cure depression, suicidal ideation, loneliness. No, it does not. It doesn't cure anything. It's a temporary fix.
I promise. Yeah, guys, just beat one out. Just off. Just watch porn. Batman will be very disappointed.
Batman. The fucking Batman AI, bro. It just kills me.
In all of you. It's so funny how men...
Shit.
So I have to ask consent before I alt F for life.
Oh my god. It's crazy. Bro, it's crazy. Consent before alt F. Like, people are not listening to what the issue is. It's like, I'm suicidal, I'm depressed. Not, I need to stop. I need to... This is just frustrating. Like, people are so dumb. I'm sorry, but like it's clearly a listening issue, and like, oh my god.
Feel entitled to a girlfriend. No, you sexist freak. When one side is like, wanting a girlfriend is sexist entitlement, and the other side is like, here's how to get a girlfriend. I don't know, bro. What happened to males just kicking the bucket?
What?
Now they
This is
come up here
terrible.
and try to make their loneliness and misery into some social justice.
Oh my god, people, oh my god, men are allowed to have a social justice issue just as women have it, just as anyone has it. They're allowed to have it too. Anyone is allowed to have an issue, like a social justice issue.
Oh, trust me. Men are still kicking the bucket. And when they're not
Oh
giving
my God.
mind-blowing advice like just to be a liberal, they're outright dismissing men's issues completely. It's not our job to educate them. Since men created the problem, they need to take steps to fix it. We have
Oh
other
my
things
God.
to care about. Men can figure out their own problems that they created. Again, it's not women's jobs to change how men are socialized. It's a man issue, and y'all need to address that amongst yourselves. Men created their own problems. Men can solve their own problems. The left is busy. Why does the
That's
well-being
sad.
of other people concern me? Leftist, by the way. It's all systemic issues and societal factors and blah 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 until it's a man and then suddenly it's pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. This problem is just a consequence of the patriarchy. Now take a wild guess about which gender created the patriarchy. Solve your own problems and leave women alone. These people rightly mock the bootstraps rhetoric until the subject is a man, and then it's bootstraps all the way down. They would never talk about any other group this way. It's wild. And it's kind of like both sides are telling men to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, but one is like, I'll show you how, and the other is like, fuck off. And when they're not
These are just sad. This is just fucked up. Like, what the fuck, man?
telling men to straight up fuck off, they're giving the 200 IQ answer that nobody has ever heard before. Just show your emotions, bro. And I'm not
Oh my
dismissing
god.
this problem, okay? I've made videos talking about this. Oh, you're crying at your grandfather's funeral? Okay, faggot. And studies have shown
What?
that men are scared to be vulnerable.
Men don't get to show their emotions. Men don't even get compliments in a year. What can men do? It's just sad.
even around the homies. And can you blame them when the media says stupid like this? Fellas, is it woke to open up to your fellow men and discuss history? Men are socialized to believe strength, dominance, and stoicism are behaviors of a real man. Is it any surprise that men are lonely and have less friends nowadays? You have to be vulnerable to make friends. Don't tell me there aren't systemic problems affecting men. Now, while a lot of this may be true, men have been socialized this way for centuries, and this is all relatively a new phenomena. Toxic masculinity has existed forever. If anything, there's less toxic masculinity nowadays.
Yeah, there is. I feel like there's been this shift of like less toxic masculinity. Ugh, that's such a hard word to say. Less toxic masculinity. What's a compliment? Oh my god. See what I'm telling you? Men don't even get compliments. How are they gonna get any sympathy or empathy? It's sad. It's actually sad. Like, growing up, I saw my dad struggle a lot. He was very much resilient, but also like he didn't get enough, I'm sorry to say this, he didn't get enough love and care and support, and it just was sad to see that. But like, I think people show that in different ways, obviously, but like compliments and like words of empathy and sympathy, like those I guess, like, you know, don't get expressed a lot, and it's sad. It's sad. This is a heavy video.
The cultural embrace of like gender nonconformity, femboys, Harry Styles in a dress, Barbie movie, blah 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 blah. My point is, toxic masculinity did not just appear in the mid-2010s, but social media did, and the internet did, and the rise of dating apps did, and the housing crisis, and living in a country where the wealth inequality is worse than it was during the Gilded Age. That all happened recently. Oh my god, the privileged life these poor little boys must have, that their biggest problem is being lonely, i.e. so insufferable that nobody wants to sleep with them. So much more pressing than the poor distribution of wealth causing people to suffer food and housing insecurity. Boo-hoo, you're lonely and have no friends and are suicidal? Wah. Because feeling
That's sad. The fuck? What the hell? Why would you frame it like that? Oh my god. Why do people on Twitter talk like so negative? Ugh.
Alienated under capitalism apparently isn't a thing. People are working harder and longer while wages have been stagnant. Men have been dropping out of college like flies. And what does that get you? Poor men. Which, since women are doing amazing in college now, and many are now out-earning men, this most of the time leads to single men, which then leads to lonely men.
Lonely
which
men,
leads to
yeah.
depressed men, which leads to
the
high suicide rate. In my
High
opinion,
suicide rate,
leftism
yep.
at a policy level does a great job addressing the shitty material conditions that in part lead to the problems that men are facing, but then absolutely drops the ball when it comes to everything and anything related to men's cultural issues. Many such cases. And why would a struggling man even want to move left when the left appears actively hostile to them?
The question of whether or not the hashtag online left is enough to appeal to hashtag men has become the question du jour. And like, men have most of the money, authority, and
I'm sorry, does he have makeup on? I can't tell. Or it's the lighting.
do most of the murdering and assaulting.
The average young man in America isn't Jeff Bezos. Also, why did the
Yeah. This is so true because, you know, I don't know too much about like wealth inequality. I don't know much, okay? I don't know much about this stuff, but it's just sad.
FBI crime statistics at me. Men do the most murder.
What?
Okay.
They like having all of the stuff they don't deserve. They like that. They want it to stay that way because it suits them. Because of the stuff, telling people they're special and deserve all the nice shit that they have, that's going to be an easier sell 10 times out of 10 than like saying, hey, maybe you should have less stuff and other people should have more.
Leftism is when you don't have a lot of stuff. We're gonna take your stuff. You sound like a 65-year-old Fox News boomer's idea of what the left is. Are you a CIA agent? The right is saying to men, you will own a house. You will have beautiful children with your loving wife. You will have privacy. You will have free speech.
Well, that sounds nice.
own things and you will be happy. And the left is like,
They like having all of the stuff they don't deserve.
but don't get me wrong.
What? What? The accusation. Oh my god. Okay, see, here is where we fail in society. Our dialogues are mismatched. We're not listening to each other. And we're poorly affecting each other by being mean to each other. I say we stop being mean to each other and be nice. Yes.
Republicans will not do shit. The Republican Party will not do shit. The establishment in general will not do shit to help any of this. But the right is, at least rhetorically, offering men something other than nothing or the eternal HR department. Every time this Discord comes up, there's people like, we need a leftist Andrew Tate. We need masculine role models on the left. But the fact is, it's hard for progressives to organically appeal to men because a large part of progressivism is oppressive hierarchies, and men are oppressors. Making progressivism look appealing to young men is an uphill battle from the start. And although it's funny to laugh at
I
insane
see.
people on Twitter, as always, there have been a lot of left-wing content creators talking about men's issues.
This is
If you would have
so...
told me this would be a thing 9 years
We
ago,
just need more nice people in the world. Literally.
I would not believe you, because anyone talking about men's issues back in the day was called an MRA or a pick-me. But lately I have seen a lot of good pro-men lefty content, and I'll put some links to some below. I don't agree with all the points they say, but I recommend watching. It's much better than...
They like having all of the stuff they don't deserve.
But
The
issue with
fuck? What do you mean?
a lot of this lefty pro-men content, it's always framed around, how do we get them? As if men are just pawns and tools for your personal politics. How do we make the left more appealing to men? How do we stop lonely men from moving to Andrew Tate? Instead of just, how do we help men? And I think that's a
Yeah.
really big issue. Both sides seem to treat men as political fodder. Disposable soldiers in the culture war and real war. Anyway, misandry is real. Oh good, finally! And while it doesn't systemically affect cis men, it most certainly affects trans men. Oh. Y'all talking about misandry doesn't harm
What does misandry mean?
men, and trans men are right there reading this shit, by the way. I see, now we only care about misandry because it affects trans men. Everyone stop! It's affecting a group I care about.
Misandry is the hating of men. Oh. What? Why is that term real? Oh man. It's the opposite of misogyny. Oh. Misandry, misogyny. Oh, that's how you remember. Okay. Got it.
Now, I love how the rhetoric just like evolved overnight from male tears to cis male tears, and I just have to ask, why aren't you including trans men in your misandry,
Nobody told me how lonely being a man is. We knew what depth felt like before we transitioned. We knew what it felt like to like have people want to hug us and to have people want to talk to us and to have a
This
community.
makes me sad.
And then you transition and you're just a guy walking down the street that people cross the street so that they're not near you. And friendships are so much harder to build. What's hard is none of this invalidates how real and raw women and people who are in marginalized groups feel about cis white men. All of that's valid. But I also now understand why the suicide rate is so much higher in men.
Welcome to being a man. Here's your complimentary isolation and yellow pillow. I love how even
What's
when
yellow pillow? What?
he's experiencing the issues of being a man, he's like, this doesn't invalidate people hating men. Come on, bro. Men struggling don't want to be lectured about the patriarchy. They don't want to be told it's all their fault. They don't want to be told they're part of the problem because, first of all, they're not. The average 20-year-old didn't build society. They go to work, come home, off to sissy hypno fetish porn, and go to bed like
What? She's so
everyone else.
funny.
I've talked about this before, but a lot of men's value comes from the money they make, unfortunately.
Yep, that is another thing I see that like when my dad like I'm just doing the POV for my dad because like that's my father figure, my late father figure. It's sad that like that's what like growing up I saw people like use him for. Like he's just a tool, money, and growing up, I was like, why is it like that? Like, why isn't my dad like me? Like, why isn't he being loved? Like, when I was growing up, like, he was very loving to me and like very caring. And I was like, why isn't the same thing for my dad, you know? And it's really sad that we stereotype men to being these, I'm sorry, to being this like figure that you're a breadwinner. I think like that being your sole purpose is not true. Like, you are much more than that. You are much more than just a tool. You are a human being, and it's unfair and it's unjust to see that we're like failing ourselves and continuously seeing men as only tools and not like seeing them as like human beings. My dad had this like real like low like role in the house, this traditional breadwinner role, but I could see him when he got tired, he was just sad. And you know, that sadness carries on to me, and I wish he knew that he was loved and cared for, and I wish I could have said that more often without thinking like, I hate you. You don't let me do things. You know, like growing up, he was very traditional and very strict, and I understood why. You know, he just wanted to protect me, and nowadays I think about it and I'm like, I wish my dad was here to tell me that again, because, you know, now I value it very much. And I feel like, you know, a value of a man is the same as a value of a woman. Like, we're both human beings, and we should not look down on each other. And I'm sorry you don't, you know, you experience this like form of negativity in your life if you're a man watching.
Men are natural providers, and if they have nobody to provide for, they get into findom or send random girls on the internet money. I'm just kidding, but the fact is, a lot of men simply feel like they don't have a purpose anymore.
Yeah. I relate. I know I'm not a guy. I'm sorry. I'm not a guy in this situation, but I relate, like, not having a purpose.
A job or a career that's fulfilling and pays well, or a woman or family to protect and take care of and provide for. Men are lacking purpose, and a man will crawl through broken glass for a purpose. But you know who does make them feel like they have a purpose?
Who?
No, not him.
I say that life as a man is exceptionally difficult. I say the most beautiful and the most terrifying thing about being a man is you're born without value. Society doesn't care about you.
The absolute
What happened to Andrew Tate? Where'd he go? I feel like he disappeared.
To act shocked that Andrew Tate is scooping these guys up after a decade of low male tears is insane. Andrew Tate isn't the solution to men's problems, but he is talking to them. The fact is,
yeah,
he did not
is.
care about them for years.
Or
and
he
even
was?
now you just want to recruit them, not help them. And that's why you will fail. And hey, maybe I'll be the Andrew Tate of the left. Men, listen up. Wash your penis. So I guess I'll leave you guys with...
Man, listen up. You're cute. I'm gonna compliment you every year. Yeah. More than a year. What the fuck? I'm gonna compliment you every day. Yeah.
Question. Why do you think male loneliness has been increasing? What are your solutions for this problem? And are you dealing with loneliness? And I will see you guys next time with a new video.
Yay! That was a shoe0nhead video, right? Shoe0nhead. Shoe0nhead. Thank you all for watching. And if you feel lonely, I give you hugs, because I don't want you to be lonely. We will be lonely together.